Hello. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. This is your girl, Londa A, also known as Queen L the Writer. You know what? I'm not going to even say that name, Queen L, anymore because, well, Queen L the Writer, shall I say, because I have not wrote anything on that app in a while. So let's dismiss that name and just act like I just didn't say it. But my name is Queen L, better known as Londa A. And so, so today is Tuesday, you know, close to Wednesday, middle of the week, things like that. And the weather is pretty okay, better than it was yesterday, because I know yesterday was pretty brick outside, and I was cold, and I just was not prepared. Also, I was upset, things like that. So, I am currently leaving work right now, so you may hear a lot of noise, and I'm recording while I'm driving home. So, yeah, this thought was inspired by me not being able to listen to whatever I wanted to listen to on my way home. And that's because, like, I just recently, my mom bought me a new phone, and in order for her to activate that phone, she had to turn off my phone. So I normally would just listen to my music on the way home, and I just was like, trying to figure out what could I listen to, and I couldn't find anything to download to my iPad to listen. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do record something. So this is something that I've been wanting to talk about, but I just wanted to take my time to observe the situation first before, I put more information out there. But I want to talk about friendships and things like that, and how they work, and what I've learned over the past months and things like that, and what it means to be a friend, and how to be a good friend or be around people who are good friends, and understanding, how long it takes to develop a solid friendship and things like that. And so I feel like for a long time, like, I had it wrong. Like, I had it wrong on, what it is to be friends, and understanding that sometimes people will upset you and disappoint you, and just because that happens, that doesn't mean, like, that you should solely, be done with the friendship and things like that. And I know it's harder now for grown-ups to process that, because I can remember, like, when I was in high school or when I was in middle school, when I had, like, 3 other best friends. Like, we were really cool friends. Like, we did have our differences and things like that, and there were times that we said things to each other that we didn't like and stuff like that, but it never separated us completely. Like, we were completely open with who we were, and, like, we had a friend that would talk shit a lot. Like, she would be, like, like the jokester among the group and things like that, and she would say things or whatever, but it never ruined our friendship. And so I wonder, like, what is it now? Why is it now that, when you get older, we're not able to look past all of those things anymore? Like, it's like when somebody does something, it's like you're automatically, terminated. Like, we can't be friends anymore and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I've done things like that. And so now thinking about it, I believe that it's more easier to walk away from friendships or people that we consider our friends, because, like, of all of the things that we've been through over those years. Like, we're no longer kids. Like, people have been scarred. People have been in relationships or friendships with people that treated them poorly and made them not, and that, because of that situation, it made that person not be able to trust them anymore, or not trust them, but have trust issues and things like that. So when a person crosses you in a friendship or says something out the way, it's like an automatically no-go, because due to the situation that you probably had before before that friendship, it scarred you. Like, you know what I'm saying? It scarred you. And so it's hard for you to process when something or anything happens or someone says something to you because of that. So I want to, before I look at all those movies and things like that, movies dealing with women, and inside those movies, when you have a group of women who are friends, no one ever has the same personality. Like, nobody ever has the same personality. One person is goofy, one person is serious, one person is loving, things like that. But at the end of the day, they seem to make it fit. That is what friendships, that is real friendships. Knowing that you're having difficulties understanding, well, you don't have the same understanding of things or process of things, but because of the love and the genuine caring that's underneath, like, you find a common ground of how to cater to a person's needs. Like, in that group of friends, they all know who's going to be the one to take something harder way, or who's going to be able to look at things and just be like, okay, whatever. Like, you have to be able to cater to each person's personality or whatever, because at the end of the day, like, just like it is in a relationship, it's not all about you. It's not all about you. You have to, you know what I'm saying, cater to their personalities. And with me doing that and understanding that, and with the friends that I have now, like, it helps me to see where I messed up in my relationship. It helps me to see where I messed up in my relationship and things like that, because I was ready to do away, or past relationships, I was ready to be like, whatever, to certain, you know, things, and just be like, I'm not dealing with this without any second thought to it or whatever. And sometimes, in not understanding that everybody process or how they give out or speak on things is different. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're trying to, like, tear me apart or break me down. It's just that that's the way that they see it. And, like, if it's not solely damaging to me, then, you know, why am I trying to, like, really be like, okay, I'm done with this or whatever. So for my ladies out there who struggle with making friends and stuff like that, number one, I want you to understand and take what I said, that everybody has different personalities and you have to cater to those needs and things like that. All right? So number two, something that I struggle with is understanding that everybody has lives. Like, we all have lives out here. We get up, go to work. We have children. We have other activities. We're in careers, things like that. We live out of state or whatever the case may be. You need to understand that everybody has their own life. Everybody has their own life. And I guess I couldn't understand that because I grew up, I was still in my child mentality, like middle school and high school, and thinking that we got to hang out every time and, like, being on the phone, like, constantly 24/7 and things like that. And if I didn't hear from you or whatever the case may be, then you wasn't a friend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or if you don't call and talk to me, you wasn't a friend. No, we are all adults now. Just like I said, everybody has lives. Like, you know what I'm saying? If there's an event coming up, invite them. So what if you haven't talked to them in a while? You know, this is a person, you know that person. You know what I'm saying? And just because y'all don't hang out like that doesn't mean that you cannot invite them. Invite them to what's going on in your life so you can keep touch bases. Like, everybody, that's still your friend at the end of the day. And I can relate this back to a relationship. Like, I remember when I was sitting down talking to my son or whatever, and he got really upset with me because I wouldn't leave my iPad home for him to play games and stuff like that. And so, as I was leaving for work, I told him to give me a kiss and stuff like that. And so he's like, acting like he don't want to give his mommy a little kiss before I go to work. And so I'm like, Jalen, like, I said, Jalen, so you don't want to give me a kiss because I won't, you know, leave your iPad? And he tells me, yeah, like, and I'm like, son, you shouldn't act like that. Just because something happens that you don't like, the way you feel about them, your love for your mom should not change. And so I don't know if he understood that or not, but, you know, I always try to talk to him in a way to where, like, you know, when he gets older, like, oh yeah, this is what my mom said. But anyway, I don't know if is, like, just because, to put it in a friendship context or a relationship, just because somebody does something solely that may upset you or make you feel like, you know, this type of way, that does not mean that they don't love you or they don't care for you. We can do that in a relationship. Just because your man may have said something to you out the way, deep down inside, that shouldn't dismiss everything, all the things that he's done or how he makes you feel or how he feels about you. That doesn't dismiss that. And as far as friendship, just because you don't see them a lot, that doesn't mean that they don't care about you, that they don't, you know, want to see you doing good, or they don't want to be present in your life. So that's number 2. Understand that everybody has lives and things like that, like whatever the case may be. Number 3, like, if you can't make it to a function, like, okay, say that, you know, tell that person, you know, hey, I can't make it, I do apologize, this is why. Even if you're tired, you don't want to go, like, hey girl, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired tonight, like, I just feel like staying in. Now, say that to them, like, tell them, don't, you know, ignore them or whatever the case may be. Like, genuinely just tell them what's going on in your life so they can know. Now, it's on them how they receive it. If they get upset and things like that, that's okay or whatever. Now, as far as receiving that message, what you should do when a person does say that to you, hey, they can't make it, like, you just dismiss it as it is what it is. Like, just like I said, there should be no love lost or whatever the case may be. Now, number 4 is always try to be supportive. Like, you know, if you can't make it to all events, try to make it to something. You know what I'm saying? Like, or if you can't make it, send something. Send a shout out, send a flower, or whatever the case may be. Like, because if you are totally MIA from a person's life and you don't hear from them or you don't contact them in over a year or whatever the case may be, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, not saying that she's not my friend or whatever the case may be, but okay, like, yeah, I haven't heard from her. Like, it is what it is. Like, it is what it is. Like, whatever. But try to be supportive of whatever it is that your friend may need. You have to be that person. Alright? So, number 5 is you have to meet people where they are. And this goes for the part for where, like, you haven't met, you haven't heard from this person in like a year or whatever the case may be, like, and then all of a sudden they just pop up out the blue. I mean, of course you want to know what happened. There's nothing wrong with wondering, like, you know, why haven't you heard from this girl in so long, or, you know, why she hadn't returned her phone calls or whatever the case may be. You know, I mean, your phone calls, but all of a sudden she just pops up out the blue. Okay, yeah, there she is. Like, you talk to her, you communicate with her, girl, you know, what happened? You good? Like, what's up? Like, tell me what's going on, or whatever the case may be. And then let them explain and just, you know, accept it for what it is. Like, it is what it is. I'm telling you all of this because, like, I'm in a space in my life where I'm trying to develop, I am working on developing relationships with people where I don't want to, like, leave anyone with a bad taste in their mouth about me. Like, you can't say that I was not there to support you and whatever the case may be. If you feel that way, that will be because of you. Like, that will be because of you. And also, I think that's just how you develop, you know, you find a good group of loving people who actually genuinely care about you. You want people to be there for you. I know it was one point in my life where I thought I didn't need nobody, like, and I was okay being alone, so I thought. But then I would find myself, like, tired of guys wanting to go out on dates with me, and I'm like, you know, I'm tired of being around men. I just want to be around a group of women. But when you're able to put all of your pride aside, be a good friend, a listener, supportive, and, you know, do what it is that you have to do the same way you do when it comes to being in a relationship with someone, then you will have those people in your life that you need. Like, and you need to understand that everybody don't see